think TN has looked a lot better, a lot smoother, and it's kind of been a lot stronger. But I still hold the question about what happens when we get to playoffs. I think he's better adjusted on top esports, but I've still seen him so many times on FPX. Playoffs comes around and TN just...
This is going to be a herald for plate trade. Delight wants to give solo plate to Henna.
Morgan is getting pretty low here. He's going to knock Dudu in, but not in range of the turret. And now Morgan is very low, and guess who's here on Fleek?
He knows he has flash.
He does have flash, but not enough to get away from red buff. Wukong has a nice first blood in the top side here for on Fleek.
Flash is traded. Dudu's going to get a plate here, so in the exchange here of plate for plate, it's actually going to be multiple going over to Dudu. I believe got one bottom side while this was happening. Okay, I don't consider moves. We can confirm yes, they take them out. But this is a way better trade for Unlight Esports, and they have Herald, of course, further gold advantage that they have on the map now, about 900 or so. Actually goes up to 1,000 here. And this is once again just Morgan hoping to bait a wall of play here. As he ults him into what he was hoping was going to be turret range. It's not. And on Fleek's there, he knows. He's like, oh, he would not be taking that trade if on Fleek is not there. On Fleek can flash for the second Cyclone, or for the Cyclone knockup. Has 2 Cyclones available. Doesn't need the full exchange. We'll take him out. It does have to spend his flash, but nice tempo advantage. Now what Fred Breon get is first Drake. When I see Fred Breon getting these Drakes and stacking them up, I get a little bit concerned for Hanwha Life. But with the tempo they have, the gold they have, this composition should allow them to try to contest second Drake, as it's a Sivir who's going to have an early Kraken Slayer, and this composition excels at early game team fighting. So many tools to straight up win it.
They can go on the hunt for kills. And, well, this is a little play down on the bottom side. It's not going to amount to too much, but still it's going to push the Sivir off the turret and force Chunny to use his heal.
Yeah, the heal by there gets a little golf clap from the crowd.
Yeah. By the way, both of these 80 carries went for heal.
Yeah.
Which I do not think is the way nowadays.
I think for Henna, it's definitely not the way. For Chunny, I think it's okay, because he wants to just spam, his boomerang, his Pax
ricochet
through the waves and try to harass. And if Delight and Henna are trying to trade back, then he's going to want that heal because he wants to actually push kill pressure. But for Henna against this Galio, Wukong, I mean, thinking about it, like, it's mostly valuable against Nautilus, actually, because Wukong gets the second Cyclone, Galio, you're going to have a hard time. I still would have liked the cleanse. Plates going down here mid.
I want to see more Ghost.
You wanted Ghost?
Yeah. Ghost is the way nowadays.
That was a curveball. I didn't see that one coming.
As a little bit of a curveball here for Delight. Not expecting that one, but again, he is just very slippery. This is the thing about this Rakan, especially Delight's Rakan. He's not going to be locked up. The damage not quite there for Hanwha Life to capitalize on that pick. You either need to 100 to 0 him, or he's getting away.
Yeah. Still, nice attempt there. No timing of an objective right after that or anything like that, so it doesn't end up being a big pickup here for Hanwha Life Esports. Morgan, be careful, as Dudu here just snips after getting out of turret range, but Morgan's taking a nice trade.
He got a plate, did Dudu,
yeah.
And especially after that kill and the little advantage that he got on the top side. Dudu didn't get the kill himself, but it was a huge tempo advantage. So now he's just taking some very nice trades against Morgan.
Yeah, he's got 1,000 gold in his pocket, the advantage. As, the Dudu angle, I think really for the first time in the series is coming online, where he's just winning lane on his own, essentially. Very hard. Set that kill up the first time, now has 3 plates of gold in his pocket, and he's going to be a very strong side lane champion this game. Morgan is now also just completely pushed around the map. Numpty wants to set up for something here bottom side, but On Fleek is nearby. And unfortunately, they're just going to come up empty-handed. Fred Breon here, at this stage in time, they have only the Liandry's in terms of items coming through. I do not think they will be able to win this fight straight up if Hanwha Life Esports groups up for it. With the Galio ult on the hunt, Kraken Slayer. See what they end up buying before this happens. But, I mean, it's only really, like I said, Liandry's and Immortal Shield Bow which on its own is not going to be very great for Henna.
Megan are about to come up here for Morgan, really putting on the pressure. Do not think that you are diving that turret, though. Not against the Gwen, who has needles available.
And you do not have teleport, so you're trying to put pressure on it in any way you can so that you can turn this into a 4v4. Otherwise, Dudu just freely teleports into this Drake fight. So he's going to be looking for pressure there, but he's not successfully able to keep Dudu pinned under turret. We'll be able to maybe take that turret away, but Dudu has full freedom now to just walk away and teleport down bottom side. Hanwha Esports have to take this fight.
They're kind of looking for it here, but not committing to it. So that is going to be the second Drake once again to Fred Prion. And what is the soul? Oh, it's Mountain Soul 3 times in a row. As that engage, not really going to do much, but they are going to burst it onto Delight, and a fantastic Crescent guard is going to get missed into a terrible spot, and Henna's having a bit of a Zeri moment as well. The front line here, double kill for Henna, and the rest of Hanwha Life has to run away, and they're not even going to get away, at least. Sunny will not, able to hand that kill over to Lava. And that even looked like it was a little bit of a shutdown as 100 extra gold goes into his pockets, and a huge swing goes in Fred Prion's favor.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thanks. All right, bye. Oh, sorry, I was just on the phone with the Zeri moment certification office. They confirmed that that is actually, that's the moment. 2
Certification?
kills. Yeah.
Great.
I was a little bit on the
That's
edge,
good
so I had to
news,
call
Wolf.
them just to be sure. They wished everybody a good day on the LSK broadcast. They're big fans over there at the Zeri moment certification office.
Yeah.
It's
Great news.
They don't get as many in the other regions, so they're always happy to hear from us. But yeah, this is a very poor engage from Vista, unfortunately, but they still are able to say, okay, we're going to do something. We're going to try to look for our moment here. But why not on the Drake? Why not use the Gwen teleport angle here way better, set up for a fight, and actually take a 5v5 where you could use all of your ultimates together in a coordinated fight instead of flashing over the wall with a Nautilus ultimate into a choke point.
Yeah. And waiting for Morgan to just walk down and be there. Yeah, it was a pretty poor decision from the side of Hanwha Life Esports. Fred Prion are going to lap that up, essentially. They're going to take the extra kills on the Zeri, take the extra kill onto Lava. They got a free Drake on top of it. The engage was not clean. And now, I mean, the gold doesn't really mirror it. There are some, lane issues, especially the top lane. Dudu did get a big lead there, a lot of plates for himself up in the top side. So that's why the gold at this moment is still relatively even. But it does not tell the full story of how fed the carries are of Fred Prion.
Yeah, the Hanwha Life Esports draft is so much more reliant on a snowball-type game where, I mean, it doesn't have to be that way because obviously there's a lot of engaged tools. But when the carry gets this far ahead, so one of them gets this far ahead, and now you have 2, then it becomes way more difficult to just run at Fred Prion in mid-game fights. So if you could have just taken the fight where you're stronger before Zeri gets that second item instead of, unfortunately, taking a poor one that gives it to her, then things could have looked a lot better, right? And that's why we're kind of angry dad frustrated about how Hanwha Life chose to approach this scenario, because now Fred Prion get literally everything they would have ever wanted. Okay, I used the term literally not correctly, but pretty much everything they would have wanted.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, Henna did not also just materialize a Ferrari.
Yeah.
But everything they would have wanted
How do you
at
know
current
that's what
game
he
state.
wanted? Maybe he wants something else. Maybe
Yeah.
he's not super attached to material belongings.
Yeah, you know
don't
what?
know.
That's a good call out, Valdez. I shouldn't actually be assuming the wants and desires of
Maybe he
each
just
carry
wants
player.
a peaceful life out in the woods, a little log cabin. You don't know.
Yeah.
He is a Giga Chad after all. I mean,
It's true.
he probably just wants the gym, actually,
Yeah.
if we're being honest, and a photo shoot. But yeah,
That is the way.
that is the way, indeed, of the Giga Chad. We do have a certain situation now in this game where,
Would you call it a Zeri situation?
I mean, you could. It was a Zeri moment, but yeah, it is a little bit of a Zeri situation as well, where, it still feels like the Sivir is in parity, but I guarantee you at this point in time that the Zeri is going to do about 600% more than Chunny will do in this next team fight.
Yeah.
just given the current state of the game and also the items, the fact that they're even at this point in time. Like Sivir needs really 3 items, and then you're feeling pretty good. But
the build
we are
for
not
Lava is amazing in my opinion. I think it's it's not like it's a skillful thing to do. He's just made the smart call, but what it does in this comp is amazing, and he will burn through that Galio and Wukong health bar so easily. They can play a slower, more passive fight and allow Zeri to stack up the damage long term. And if there's a heavy dive, there's disengage. We have already seen great Crescent Guards from Umpty this game, and I think there's reason to believe that will continue. And so as a result, even with stopwatch available here for Karis, this soul point fight, I mean, you're really trying to put a square peg into a round hole here as Honor Life Esports, but you have no choice. And you're going to have to take a hammer out and hope to really nail it in there.
Yeah.
As Dudu has teleport, but looks like he has already made the call. He's going to be pushing topside. There's the ping on the way ping there towards the topside turret. And Honor Life Esports will once again decide to do nothing, but given the game state, can you really blame them? I mean, I just think this is...
It sounds familiar, Wolf. I feel like we were saying that a lot in Game 2.
This is why I don't like it when Zeri is in the game, because it feels like it's always about her. If she's losing, it's about her. If she's winning, it's really about her. But, you know, I just want a few more interesting Jinx Aphelios. You know, we were all very bored of that, okay, for a while, but I'm ready for it to come back. I'm ready for a little bit of that, all right? Please.
Yeah, well.
Ban Zeri, guys. Henna's going to be 5-1 on this champion now.
Yeah.
He's not even on a playoff team.
It's true. I love the vision denial here because if Honor Life were considering going for some action, that could have been their moment. But again, as I mentioned in the draft, like the Light's not really a great target unless you 100 to 0 him. So you're going to be finding issues with hooking a Xinjiao, a Gnar, or a Rakan. And good luck getting through them to the soft underbelly that is Victor and Zeri in this case.
Umpty looking for a flank angle. They don't have to. They don't need to force it. They have set up vision around the Baron. They have 2 good forwards there, so they're not afraid of Honor Life Esports doing Baron. And they can just like, Zeri's not getting the edge. What do you guys think about that? Honor Life Esports promptly respond by backing and setting up for now grouping over to try to contest vision, but for the Brian are going to be right there, ready to contest. And choke point control here is massive for either of these teams, but unfortunately for Karis, he's just not able to get in there. If he's in that choke point with Flash Taunt available, maybe there's a hope. Like, this competition is not doomed per se in a fight where Honor Life Esports gets the jump on Frederick Brion, but if they take 3 extendo games and death rays before the fight starts, then they definitely.
Well, speaking of which, you can engage onto the Nautilus. Sometimes can be very risky, and that's why they just essentially use the charge to slow him down to allow him to get poked. And Umpty immediately backs off. Certainly a smart decision from him. As now it is all about this mid-control, hanging around the objectives as there's the engage, pretty big, the Wukong and the Galio, but it is mostly onto Umpty. Everybody else is going to flash away, and the re-engage is huge, of course, from the Rakan. Zeri Penta, anyone? Anyone up for some Zeri Penta moments? Because we have... Nope, Umpty's just going to steal that one away. Never mind. As it is still going to be a very one-sided team fight here in favor of Frederick Brion. As it looks like they'll just give that kill over to Lava instead. No need for the Penta, as that one is already given away. Frederick Brion now will go ahead and take the Baron.
This was the best fight I think Honor Life Esports was ever going to get as well. And it's a 4-kill going over to Frederick Brion. No Penta, sadly. Not even a Quadra. But... like, you have Wukong, Cyclone, follow-up ult from Karis. But look at the damage and the knock-up here from Delight. Look at Henna's health bar. He's got a shield on top of it. He's so full of health. No one's going to hurt him. I don't even know if he really needed a flash there, but he was like, if I don't flash this, I can't get a Penta. There's 0 chance. So he flashes it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he just doesn't even need to use that. He doesn't care because the rest of his team is there to peel for him. And I think it just goes to show this composition, again, from Hanwha Life needs to be at least at an even game state, or it's just going to be disastrous. Because the setup engage there, on paper, was very good, but they just don't have enough damage. They're so far behind. They don't get Delight. Could just, of course, ult them.
And we're going to try to kill the Gnar here as they are throwing everything into Morgan, who is going to go down. I guess mainly because Henna was not there. And so, actually pretty nice timing because it is only 30 seconds until this Mountain Drake.
Yeah, it's actually really nice timing for them. Morgan doesn't have teleport, doesn't have flash, which would have really helped him out there in the initial exchange. So it's almost like someone on the coaching staff, maybe it was Kesman, said, I need you guys to fight a lot more. And finally we got to the first moment. Didn't go so well, but the second time they are looking for any pick they can get, any isolated target. And we'll see a slight dip in the gold graph there.
This looks very suspicious. The setup from Hanwha Life, and Frederibrion will sniff it out. Even the ward being put down there in case Dudu wanted to teleport over the members in the mid lane.
Morgan up in 5, doesn't have teleport, but can of course run down here if they do buy time, but they're just going to push mid instead. I think this is the right call. The 3 Drake advantage buys you that opportunity to just trade Drake for inhibitor. You still have soul point. Now let's not overextend Frederibrion. We'll actually look to try to punish instead here onto On Fleek.
Yeah, shouldn't be able to get on top of On Fleek, but yeah, extreme safety. Probably could have, especially with the damage that they have, probably could have just taken down that inhibitor, but no reason to do that and then extend the game potentially like an extra 5 minutes and then allow, you know, the Sivir to pick up game 1.
Game 1?
allow Chunny to pick up 3-4 items, and then all of a sudden, you know, these team fights not necessarily going to just look like Zeri's, you know, ice skating pawns playtime, and actually have a counterpart on the side of Hanwha Life.
Huge missed opportunity for Riot, to be honest. Zeri on ice. Maybe at Worlds we'll get something.
Yeah. This was a very interesting decision to just teleport right on top of the Wukong.
Well, I mean, the rest of his team is fairly nearby, but as you mentioned, right as this happened, Zeri was not. So they don't actually commit. It's Umpty and Lava who are like, I'm not going in on that. Sorry. I think the idea is I teleport in, buy enough time in the fight, team collapses, and it's a trap. But unfortunately, Hanwha Life Esports just burst him down, and Henna isn't there.
Would you say they burst it?
Yeah, you keep bringing that back up, and I feel it makes me guilty every time I haven't made the pun myself just yet.
It's on every Hanwha Life Esports fan sign. You guys will see it. It's their motto. I would like if every team had a motto, actually, because it's like kind of cheesy, but it's fun at the same time, you know? Nongshim has one as well.
Was it red overall? No, that's, I think,
red against all.
Red against all, that's right.
Thank you, Jisun.
Jisun was on point. I was close, but not quite correct.
I don't know if there are any other teams that have a motto, actually.
There are.
Oh,
Jisun's like, actually every team does have it. They just don't use it as much as Hanwha. But like, T1 is stand as one, I believe? I don't know. They need to use these more. I'm not responsible for knowing all of these. It wasn't on my LCK.
We didn't get a seed with all these mottos. Yeah, no, I mean, now that you mention it, actually, I think it, yeah.
We all know Bro Memento. Hashtag Bro Memento. That's not actually their motto, but it's one of their hashtags. It's one of their hashtags.
Yeah. Hashtag Bro Memento Giga Chad. It's a good one. It's my favorite motto, actually.
It's T1 fighting for T1. We got that confirmed.
Hashtag T1 fighting.
I think T1 have a few, though.
Yeah, there's like ones that they use that aren't official, I guess.
Yeah.
Hashtag We Are Genji. Okay, I mean, come on.
All right. Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, well, that one with a
these are technically their official mottos, but you guys can do better. Okay, like hashtag We Are Genji.
Yeah,
like,
what's
we already
KTs?
knew that.
What's KTs though?
We already knew you're Genji. Come on.
I need to know KTs.
Hashtag with LSB.
That's right. I mean, that one's the best one so far. It's like we're with you, Live Sandbox.
It is better than hashtag T1 Fighting and hashtag We Are Genji.
Okay, so there is definitely not one for KT.
Okay. That's, yeah.
They haven't used social media on Twitter in a while. We're talking about hashtags, by the way. Like, it's not like every team puts this on their jerseys, but every team kind of has an official hashtag.